it's kind of like an Italian type grandma setting, and they're just pouring light codes down my throat. I'm sitting there like, and then like I'm like, I think there's enough. I think that's enough. And then like another grandma comes with like a push broom and she's pushing all this stuff down my throat, and like I could feel, and it feels like pop rocks going all down my throat and my stomach. And I actually had a feeling of being full. Like I was like, what is happening?
Dude, my last trip.
Buckle up.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Dude My Last Trip, a podcast about DMT. I'm Melisa.
I'm Rory. And we just got back from Sedona.
We're home.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're home.
We're home.
That
Rory's
too.
in his new state.
Yeah, Tennessee. It's been a journey getting out here. I haven't been able to make too much content the past couple months because we've just been living our 3D lives. So we've had a lot going on, and a lot of the stuff that we're going through I can't talk about. That's not happening. So, but we are able to talk about Sedona now.
Yeah. So, okay, because I feel like this is just a curious question. So, why can't you talk about it?
My guides aren't letting me. And it just doesn't seem like the appropriate time for some of the stuff. Like, I thought my life was weird last year. It's really weird now. And I just have no idea what is like. I don't even know what's happening. So
It's like we know, but we don't know. Like we know something's unfolding. We know we're being guided. We know we're taking the right steps, but we don't exactly know where it leads or like why exactly we're doing it.
no.
Which is just like the weirdness of this path.
Yeah.
And like I feel like we've just been living life in fast forward ever since November.
Ever since Shasta, yeah.
You and I have just been on this like fast track for everything.
It's very fast.
Yeah.
Everything is moving. And now that we're in the year of the fire horse, I think it's going to be quite a ride this year.
Yeah, it's like we were just getting started. That was just snake year purging. And like a bit of the fire horse energy coming in because we did start a lot in the last 4 months. But I feel like we're running at full speed now. Yeah, I would say. I feel like I'm running at full speed.
Yeah, things are going fast. So, Sedona, the vortexes are real.
The vortexes are real.
Yeah.
And real magical.
So we finally got to experience those. Been part of my...
We're a 2-cat household now.
Yeah. Sedona was the first...
No, Scott. You're not allowed to scratch that. So, okay, wait, hold on. Let's back up. Basically, what happened? Okay, so Rory was living in California, right? I'm here in Tennessee. We've decided to live together, and he moved out here with me, but we have all this time freedom. We both, like, our jobs are pretty fluid. We can work from anywhere. So we have this really cool idea to road trip him out here and take our time.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a couple of our Shasta family who live in Sedona, and so that was our first stop. So we actually decided to spend a full week in Sedona with them and exploring all the vortexes and the magic of that land and the energy that's there. And it was absolutely one of the most incredible experiences of my life, like one of the most incredible week ever.
Yeah, it was a really good week. My journey to Sedona actually started before we road tripped. It actually started before I knew who anybody was. Part of my initial DMT initiation was I kept seeing this house in a
Scarlet.
cat's asshole.
We'll cut that out.
She just mooned everybody.
Yeah, she did. Sorry, guys.
So part of my initiation originally, when I first started going through all of this and really getting into DMT, was I kept seeing a house in the cliffside, and they were like red rocks. Or I've never been to Sedona, but I just kept seeing this. And when we first arrived, it's kind of ugly on the way there. So
Very ugly.
we were kind of joking. I thought it would be the Rockies would be a little rockier than this on the way. And when we finally crest over the hill, all of a sudden you see the valley and you see all these cliffs, red cliffs and plateaus. And it was absolutely gorgeous. And the next thing I see is these houses carved in the cliff. And it immediately brought me back to one of my very first DMT sessions. And for the first month and a half, that's what I saw very heavily. So I had been feeling pulled to Sedona for quite a while.
Without knowing that it was actually Sedona.
Yeah.
Just this vision that you had.
I knew it was Sedona when we got there, though.
Yeah.
So we set up camp and went into town, and our first stop was our friend's house, and then the next stop was, what was the first vortex? The masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
Boynton
Canyon.
Boynton Canyon.
So it's these two incredible, like, I don't know what do you call them, like pillars or something? And it's a little bit of a hike to get there, but like not bad.
Yeah.
And there's a masculine and a feminine rock. And the feminine is called Kachina Woman and the masculine is called Warrior Man. And our friends had told us about this site. And so this was like, we were just like, we knew we had to go there first.
Mm-hmm.
But before we went to the rocks, we went to this crystal shop and I picked out 2 stones to leave as an offering to the vortex and to the energy and to the consciousness that exists within those rocks, which we'll get into, which is incredible. So our friends took us up to Boynton Canyon, and the magic began pretty much right away because there's this elusive man that I just call Robert the Flute Man. His name's Robert. You guys can find him on YouTube if you search like Robert Flute Man in Sedona. He's not on any socials, but everyone knows about him. He's like famous. He goes to these rocks and he plays his flute on the top of the rocks, and he plays songs for humanity, and he plays songs for unconditional love and for healing and for letting go.
Yeah, and this one's for joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he was a very interesting character. And
Unconditional love.
Thank you for that. That was amazing.
really, it was it was divine timing that I got to go to, because you start at the feminine side of the rock, and we took our shoes off, and then the goal is to walk barefoot over to the masculine and get the stuff from that, and then you kind of just sit in the center, and the energy just kind of clears you out. So while he's playing the flute, I go to do the feminine side first, and I take off my shoes and I do a little 3 to 4 second DMT pull. And it's kind of like an Italian type grandma setting, and they're just pouring light codes down my throat. I'm sitting there like, and then like I'm like, I think there's enough. I think that's enough. And then like another grandma comes with like a push broom, and she's pushing all this stuff down my throat, and like I could feel them. It feels like pop rocks going all down my throat into my stomach. And I actually had a feeling of being full. Like I was like, what is happening? And so I walked across barefoot to the other. I'd never climbed the masculine. I probably should have left my shoes on for that, but I didn't. I climbed up. It was very sketchy. I was not graceful at all.
Robert helped you.
Yeah, Robert tried to help me, but I couldn't figure out my left or my right. I was all discombobulated.
I was okay, so hold on, I have to say, I was watching you from like the feminine rock. And like I had just gone in with DMT, and I was like, there's nothing I can do. I'm just watching you literally like scale this massive, and like part of me is worried, and then part of me is like, there's literally nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Like whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
That's what I said.
If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you got a treat, because we're going to be splicing this with like little clips from that, so you can see Rory
Yeah.
climbing up the masculine rock.
Not very good. Not graceful at all.
But you made it.
Yeah.
You went all the way up to the top, of course.
Yeah, and then I hit the pin for another 4 seconds up there. I had dragon energy. It was a very strong masculine, like dark black scales, very just kind of dragon energy. I wouldn't know how to put it. I don't know exactly what I received from that. It wasn't like the feminine rock. And then I climbed down and I sat in the center. And when I sat in the center, I just did another 4 second DMT pull. And I could see the grids when I do a 3 to 4 second hit, and you could actually see the waves were all just kind of, it looked like smoke on a windy day. Like the grid lines were all just kind of all over the place. And
Do you think that was like the energy of the vortex, or like?
yeah, I think that was the energy of, I think that's how it works, and that's why, it clears everything out. So that was my experience at the masculine and feminine rock. It was definitely interesting.
Yeah, so my experience was similar. I first started at the feminine rock, and I left my little offering, and I said a little prayer of gratitude just to be there and receive whatever she wanted me to know or see or receive. And I took my shoes off also. And I hit the DMT pen, I think for like 4 seconds. But in these vortexes, like you don't need to, like, even just hitting it 4 seconds was pretty like intense energy.
Yeah.
Just because you're on this vortex. And I also got grandmother energy. Like it was, but like this massive grandmother, like massive energy of grandmother. To me, she felt very kind of like ancient indigenous. Actually, like now that I'm saying that, I have one of my guides that I've met in a past life regression that is like this old grandmother, like this old indigenous grandmother woman with gray hair. And that's very much what Kachina woman felt like to me, was very much like my guide. And she appeared to seem like she looked in my vision very much like her, which is weird to say because like when I say she looked like it, I'm not actually like physically seeing that, you know? I'm more like understanding that that's what she looks like and that's how she's presenting based on like the vibration that she gives.
Yeah.
And it was just ancient and old and just it felt like she just wrapped me in her arms and just held me and loved me. And it was just like the most calming, comforting presence. And she didn't give me like any codes or anything. But when I looked out over the vista and I was just seeing all of like the land, it was just the energy of like millions upon millions, like tens of millions of years upon tens of millions of years. Like I was connected to the energy of millions and millions of years. And it just felt like time kind of stopped. And I, forgot that I was worried about Rory like scaling this rock. And it was just like presence and stillness. Like the presence and stillness of an ancient woman who has just seen millions of years and doesn't need to react and doesn't need anything to happen. She's just there. So that was my experience. And then before I walked over to the other side, I placed my third eye on her like face, on like the face of the rock. And I felt something like in my womb, I felt something like move, like travel up to my heart and up to the third eye. So that was, I think, what she gifted me. I don't know exactly what it is, but there was like a connection, which I've also done the womb, heart, third eye connection with DMT, like not in Sedona. So it was almost like she was just acknowledging that. And she was like, happy about it, it felt like. So then I walked over to the masculine rock, which is called Warrior Man. And I like have to say I was quite intimidated to go in with DMT on the masculine side. I think just like as a woman and just like I'm also very like anti-patriarchy, and like even though I know like it's divine masculine, like I still have like these kind of hesitations about it and maybe like a sense of distrust. So I sit down and I placed my offering and said my little prayer. At the same time, Rory's above and he's starting to climb down. But I had hit the pen. And so like as Rory's climbing down, like I'm just like, again, like kind of half worried about you because like I knew it wasn't easy for you to get up and looking down, it looks pretty treacherous, but he was fine. And Warrior Man didn't say anything or gift me anything, though I guess the feeling that I connected to was a gift in and of itself. But he just felt very strong and protective, very strong and protective. And it felt safe to be in his energy. Like almost like a lot of the hangups that I have around the masculine are not really necessary. Which I don't know, like now, like in the 3D, it feels necessary. But in that moment, connecting to his energy, it wasn't, because that was like more powerful, was just his steadfastness and his ability to protect. Like there was no need for me to be distrusting. So that was like a gift. I would say that's a gift.
Well, the goal is balance of masculine and feminine energies. So was probably likely the gift. Yeah.
And it was just so beautiful to have these experiences, like while Robert is playing his flute,
Yeah.
you know,
That
and just
was.
calling out like, this is a song for joy. And this is a man who truly is living in his light. I mean, talk about someone who's following the soul path. He like sold his house and moved to Sedona, and just like, well, this is how he spends his days, is just giving back to the land and giving back to the collective by singing or playing these songs on his flute. So we'll add clips of him for you guys. And so after I went to the masculine rock, I came back to the center, and we had some cookies and we listened to Robert telling his stories.
Yeah.
Which is
The
really cool.
Palladian. Kind of learned a little bit about the Pleiadians and the Earth's rotating backwards. He was speaking a lot of facts. I can't remember everything he was saying, but it was a very beautiful afternoon for, I think that was our second night there.
Yeah, like our first full day.
Mhm.
And what's cool is like, so our friend that lives there has this theory that he's not even human, you know, and after meeting him, I suspect that might be the case.
He was an interesting character for sure. Really lovely person to be around, lovely energy.
Oh my gosh, just
Yeah.
the best. And one of the other people that we met later at dinner was like, I've lived here for 30 years and I've never once like come across him.
Mhm.
And so we kind of knew the magic and the synchronicity of the fact that like that was the first vortex we went to and he was there.
Yeah. And same for our friends, the first time they went there, he was there. So it was just really cool.
That was a cool parallel.
Yeah. And then after that, the next vortex we went to was it Bell Rock?
I think it was Bell Rock. Yeah, Bell Rock was cool.
Bell Rock was another really just kind of fun one.
Every vortex we went to had like its own energy.
Yeah. So when we went to Bell Rock, there was this weird bush. I hit the pen, and there's just this weird bush, and it was pointing in a direction. And then, for whatever reason, I look up the mountain, and the mountain was like, "Don't listen to that bush," and it pointed in another direction. And it turned out that they were pointing at two other vortexes that we were supposed to go to. And we ended up going to one of them was the airport vortex, and then the other one was the last one we went to. Cathedral Rock.
Okay. This plant was hilarious, you guys. Like it had
very interesting personality.
like funniest like jokester energy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look at me. Like it was funny because well, like we hit the pen at the same time, right?
Mhm.
So we're like looking, and this plant like wants our attention.
Yeah.
Like it's just like doing its thing. And then I'm like, no, but like I'm here to look at the vortex, you know, and like look up at this massive like pillar in front of me. But the plant was just like trying to get our attention, which was really funny. It
Yeah.
cracked me up. We were like cackling about how like
we were
this
up
plant.
there for a few hours, and it was really funny. Just the whole how it kind of went down. It's like, no, the rock was like, "No, you idiot, don't listen to that plant." It's just like, I don't know. It was really interesting, and I thought it was interesting like how the vortexes like can speak to each other. And I don't know the exact order in what to do them. I imagine we were pretty close to doing it in a good order to do it, but I'm pretty sure that if you go to each vortex in a specific order, it's going to unlock something really massive. I don't know if we had time to go to all of them, but we did go to all of the ones that were marked on our little map
all the big
pamphlet that we got.
ones, yeah.
All the big ones.
But yeah, it was cool. Like, so also at Bell Rock, when I finally was like able to look beyond the little plant guy, like okay, focus like on the actual rock. Did you see the faces? I saw like all of these grandfather faces.
Oh yeah, like in between. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy because like you don't see this with your 3D eyes. But when you look at it on DMT, even on a low hit, you start to you see what is unseen.
Yeah.
Right? You see what's actually there. But then once the DMT wears off, like I could still see it. I was like, okay, now like they showed itself to me, and now I can still see them.
Yeah.
And then we were looking across. So like we were on Bell Rock, but then we looked across the road to like this other rock, like this other stack of rocks on the other side. And Justice felt like there was a temple there. She was getting like temple energy.
Mm-hmm.
And what was interesting was this rock was interesting to me because I kept getting the sense that like I was seeing an overlay. Like when I looked across at the trees and the plants that were on this other rock, they seemed fake to me.
Yeah.
And well, okay, so like when you're on DMT and you look at nature, it moves, it's alive, you can see the energy. But these trees were not moving. They were still. And they looked like, okay, it looked like I was like looking at a really enhanced photo. But then on the actual rock, I could see like energy and life and life force moving, which is really interesting. And then I kept like when I would like turn back around at Bell Rock, I was getting like the honeycomb beehive all over my vision. And I felt like that was like an overlay. Like there was another layer behind it that I wasn't, for whatever reason, accessing. But like I knew there was something else there. Did you get that at all?
No, not on that rock. I thought that there was, because they were all pointing at the other vortexes for me. So it was like, you
Yeah.
have to go here. So I didn't really get anything else outside of that. Not on that rock anyways.
Yeah, okay. But we did make a cool friend with the spiky plant.
Yeah, it was a cool plant.
So that was Bell Rock. And then where did we go next? Cathedral? Yeah,
Yeah, we
Cathedral
went to
Rock.
Cathedral Rock. And then Cathedral Rock was interesting. I didn't really get much at the base, but we climbed up. There was kind of like a goat trail that was kind of steep. So Melissa didn't come up, but there was all these petroglyphs and all these like really cool things. And so we kind of hung out, and then I did DMT up there. And it almost felt like the mountain was breathing. It was very interesting up there.
It was just felt, so I didn't go up with you guys, but it felt like too coincidental to be coincidence because like we weren't even intending really to climb up the rocks that day because we were originally going to Buddha Beach.
Yeah.
So we were on this like path that was taking us to Buddha Beach, and then randomly, I forget who saw it first, but like one of us was like, I think we could, is this a path? And it was literally like the tiniest little path. Like
Yeah.
you would easily miss it. It doesn't look like a path, but there was like a way sort of leading to the top, but it was super steep. Immediately I'm like, forget it. Like, no, like I'm not a climber. And then he was like, I'm going to go up and see. And so we all watched him like climb this thing, like perilously, like kind of holding our breath. It was not an easy climb. And when he got up there, he was like, you guys, there's all these petroglyphs in this cave. And we were like, oh my gosh, like I actually thought he was maybe joking. But then they followed up one by one. I stayed down and I had a nice little moment with this tree that I was laying underneath and the butterflies. But they fully saw incredible petroglyphs like covering the face of this rock. Yeah.
Looks like it cuts up more. You can take a picture for me.
You can take a picture for me.
You said you would go if he went first.
I mean, they're definitely.
No, I said.
Yes, they can. I mean, basically, hello.
Wasn't lying.
No.
Look at it. Wait, see this?
Yeah. It was cool. We'll show you some pictures of it.
Did you feel like any energy coming from it, or did you get a sense of anything?
No, I don't know what downloads I got from there. I received downloads at every vortex, but I still don't know exactly what they were.
This is like when we talk about like, I know, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we know we got something, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed I missed out on the petroglyphs.
Yeah, they were cool. It was that was a very well, I just remember when I got up there, I absolutely loved that place. I loved that city. I loved everything about Sedona. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think after that one, we went to the airport vortex, and the airport vortex we did at sunset. There's a lot of people there. I was still kind of hitting the pen, but it was just a beautiful sunset, and just to kind of be able to look out like all over, and that view up there it's like no other view I've ever seen in my life. It was absolutely beautiful.
Breathtaking.
Yeah.
I brought some red wine.
And there was another band. Sedona just has all these really cool, interesting people all over the place, and there's like we met some super interesting people, and I don't know, it just felt like home the whole time.
Mm.
So
Yeah, we
yeah, I
love
can't wait to
it.
get back.
Wait, the birthing cave. We forgot.
The birthing cave was an amazing view, and I had to leave early from the birthing cave because I had some work being done on the trailer. The only thing I got from the birthing cave was just this beautiful view, but I didn't get any. I don't think it's like a
Did you even
vortex.
hit the pen in there?
I don't even think I hit the pen, no.
I didn't either. But it was just beautiful. I don't know. I felt a lot of like, so I don't know the story behind it, but I'm assuming like
That's where people were birthed.
that's where they went to birth. And we were there with like some of like our sisters, their soul family sisters. And so for me, it just felt like very feminine, and like we were gathered together, and maybe a way that we used to gather in past lives. You know, it was just really I felt a lot of like feminine energy,
Yeah, there was a lot.
connection, and communion of women. It was beautiful. The view was gorgeous. It was scary coming down. That was really sick. Kind of freaked me out. And I was like, you went by yourself, and I was like, oh my God, I hope he makes it.
No, it's fine. Nothing's that difficult.
It's not. It's just, but when you're there, it's scary. So, yeah,
Yeah.
those are our experiences in the vortex. Which one was your favorite?
The first one, Boynton Canyon. I think I had the most downloads there. And I'd say Bell Rock is like my second favorite one. That was just kind of a funny afternoon as well.
We laughed a lot that day.
Yeah, we did.
I would say Boynton was my favorite, but then Birthing Cave second. Even though like I didn't get any downloads or even hit the pen, it was just like almost otherworldly. It felt like being in that little like alcove, and it just looks out, and you're so high up.
I know, and they kind of. I hope they don't ruin that view, because when you're looking out in the center of the birthing cave, all you see is just natural landscape. But if you just go a little bit to the right, they have this whole housing community being built. And you're like, oh, they're ruining a beautiful view. So I hope they kind of shut that down or do something where they're not expanding too much in that view of that birthing cave. But
Maybe it's protected too by the national park.
yeah, maybe,
Hopefully.
hopefully. But yeah, Sedona felt like home. I did enjoy it.
I'm curious, like, if I feel like you must have had past lives in Sedona because you resonate so strongly with it. I wonder what those are like.
I don't know. I'll have to find out maybe one day.
Yeah, I feel like Sedona has a place in our future.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Anything else?
That was it. It was the trip. I mean, those were all the hot spots we went to. After that, it was mainly just eating really good food. There's a lot of good food in Sedona, and just being present with our friends and hanging out. And that was, yeah, DMT bowling, and that was pretty much it.
DMT bowling? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun. A bunch of our Shasta friends came out from Phoenix, and then Kirsten came out from Dallas too. So that was really cool. It was like a mini impromptu Shasta reunion, which was
Yeah.
awesome. Which I think is just like it speaks to the magic of Sedona. I felt like limitless there.
Yeah.
I felt like we could manifest anything, and it was just effortless. And it like the synchronicities that you and I had there were like insane. Like every angel number, even when we were getting gas,
Yeah.
was it like
Yeah.
111? Like it was just like all over the place. We were getting synchronicity. We would say something in conversation, and then later on, like someone else brings it up or something. Like it was like it was just a lot of like instant manifestation on like a little scale.
Yeah.
But it was just like the magic of that place, the energy. I miss it already.
I can't wait to go back.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we'll go back soon.
Yeah.
All right, and that was our Sedona recap. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah. Until next time.
Have a beautiful day, you guys. See you soon.
I have to pee so